Follow the journey. Let's see now that this is I want to show the ease because this was the whole point. It was like make content management fun again. Like make the editing experience a pleasure. And I was a power developer and a power user, and I have a lot of experience in higher ed. I've also got some experience with more smaller, so I've got a lot of experience across big organizations, small business. And I still see a need for the service I want to provide out there. I've just been really hung up on the system. And to me, my success, unfortunately, my ego was tied into this system. And now that I at least have this going and it's my creation, there's a confidence there because I know what we need to pull from other systems idea-wise. I know what I think works that I don't see out there that I've already implemented. And so I know it's not a snap the fingers thing, and there's still a lot of work to be done. And I would prefer to figure out what my role in that team is other than like agentic vibe coder in a room by himself. So what I do think is interesting is maybe like a public build in public. How about that? And this whole process for me, as far as agentic coding, vibe coding, started last year when I attended a summer school session at the Atlanta Tech Village. I forget Karthik, the build in public guy. See, branding, right? I think he's the build in public guy. Well, he says he's the build in public guy. Is it the build in public guy? Anyway, so I tried Bolt, and it's interesting now. It's like, is the tech better? Is my understanding of how to prompt better? It's all of the above. And here we are. So I thought, let's try to build something, and we'll go back to the CMS. Let's see what. And I got my left nav fly out. I added this yesterday. Wait, hold on. There we go. Keyboard commands to do this. So we have our left site tree, we have our right page doc, and I have this partial header. I'm going to edit the partial. I'm going to do this window, and then I'm going to add another Chrome window so you can see it. All right, and so what this flyout allows you to do is I've got this. Well, I guess normally I would run one down, one like different monitors, and you can see. Is that gonna work? Oh, that does. Oh, well, that makes sense. All right, yeah. This again gets into kind of the heart of the matter, which was a bootstrap theme I really liked, and then is time passing me by? I don't know. I'd like to think that the concept of this whole thing is agnostic to any one front-end framework as far as how you build the site. My whole core value in terms of the web was there are these interfaces and layouts that make sense. Then you have your typography and your color scheme, your brand, and then you have your content that makes you unique and hopefully people find interesting, and that's your competitive advantage. I've always been passionate about the web. I think it's always, we're always surfing point free, point break. Who knows where the future goes? I still believe, I'm steering more. I think, things are cyclical. There's always a pendulum swinging. And to me, I get on Instagram and things like that, and they're so. What I'm trying to say is, like, I really believe in taking the power back, and so I'll just leave it at that. But here we go. So, even if you wanted, I think my thought as far as agentic in this is, if you needed it's like you're burning money. I just burned, I don't know how much money yesterday, not a whole lot, but I ran out of my Cursor money, and I used my ChatGPT Codex, and I burned through those, and then I kept pumping 20 in, and I did that 3 times, 4 times just to get this up. And then it's like, okay, cool. If you just continually just hand off even the light lifting, if you're just so like, here, agent, I don't think that's great for a very small amount of people. And we have to decide as a race of humans on this planet, where the line is before it's too late. Point free code. So we have this window here. I want you to, okay, so yeah, I'd need to do this. Close that, and we have this. So I'm going to leave the frame up, but I'm hiding it from you. So right now I just copied the about, and now you see I got 2 abouts. I'm going to do this order. So categories, galleries, paste about, save. Then the funny thing is, like, I hate blogging, so I don't really want one. Why did I even think? I think it was just more an exercise in showing off how this works. And you have site main, like, this is all, like, right now, you can just do this, and then that points to the local or the current site. I'm just going to do this now for the heck of it. And so now we have these menu options, but I didn't add blogs. I think right now that just defaults to, all right, so yeah, whatever. Let me add this page. Actually, this would be a landing page. Create page. Blog. Now here, so many ways to think about this. With the goal being like max flexibility and max So I never even got to this point, right? So we have this visual or the preview view, and then we have the visual editor view. There's still a little bit of mismatch. I'm okay with that, but the idea was visual first. And again, I spent really the past 2 years diving into CMS architecture as it related to page architecture, and now all we got to do is implement it, right? So I threw in this universal section, and you need sections so that you can do what, like, the following, right? And this is where again, like AI and all that, right? I'm going to go to, hold on. So I do think in this case, it does, what do we want? Like, are humans really going to be interested in reading full-on AI generated slop? And by slop, I just mean content that exists only to pad the stats, if you will. I think there's ways it helps, and then I think there's ways where it's just pointless, or it's like, again, how about this? Never mind. So I just generated and copy pasted this content. And so the beauty of this is I can come back here and paste it in. Now this would actually be a blog page. So what we really want to do is cut that out. Hopefully that works. Works in terms of preserving. And now what we really need is like a page type, a new blog page type. But I think the blog page type would really be, it's essentially a landing page. I'm going to copy that then, and I'm going to say blog page. And some of this stuff I borrow from a CMS called ProcessWire, and there everything's a page. And I'm not I like that up to a point. I always liked, it's 2026. I always love to continue the hello world. And so if I paste that back in, actually, you know what? I like hello world as the title. Oops. See, edit page. Yeah, I just gravitate it. All right. Anyway, just for like kicks, we'll do that. Save, back to the page. Let's see what it looks like visually. And with the time remaining, the concept here with the sections was, again, back to what actually makes sense, right? Like designers design. If you want to go edit a website, do you really need to get into this design tool? I say no, but I do think visual first. And therein, there was a Slim, which was the blog. No, excuse me. That was Prose was for the blog. And I'm out of time.